Kia ora, students of Level 4 Health and Wellbeing. This is your Leadership and Communication, one of your papers under that course, and it's called Culture Communications. So I'm on Moodle at the moment. You cannot see this until I open it. You'll have resources here of the presentations and voices over of culture that we've done in class. And then also there's a presentation here on what the Gibbs Reflective Cycle resources is. Again, we'll be taught in class, so it is quite important that you attend those sessions, but it is still here for you to go back on. Okay, you will find your voiceover in here, assessment for cultural adaptation and communication. I will click on it here. Now I am going to put this voice recording uploaded into here. So hopefully you would have found it to be able to click on it to be able to hear this information. Okay, let's open the assessment and understand what's going on. So I've clicked on it and it's downloaded here down my bottom toolbar. So I have to open it up. I'm going to make it bigger. You can see I've downloaded Grammarly as well, so feel free to download the free version of Grammarly if you feel need to. Oh, let's hide this. Right, this is about applying cultural appropriate communication techniques in a health and well-being setting that contributes to improvements in the stakeholder relationships and the organizational performance. So sort of a lot about you. What can you do to adapt to get the best out of your clients, to create that great communication tools depending on what nature and culture that your clients and yourself is? Okay, and by adapting in these processes, you are creating a stronger bond, a more trusting relationship, and an understanding. So these are just the GPOs about the graduate profile, which you're seeing, everyone. Don't let that confuse you. That's to do with us and our Word program document. All right, so this is what we want from you. Using a reflection tool. Now, we've given you the Gibbs reflective cycle. So there are 6 headings that you will need to follow, and this is the second part of your assessment. You will need to follow, which basically helps you answer one of your examples. So I'm going to start again. First of all, what you need to do is identify and describe 3 varied situations that you've been in from within the health or well-being setting, basically from where you work, depending on what nature of your job is, community, rest home, hospital, where you've had to recognize a difference in another person's culture. Now, in class, we're going to be going over culture, and you're going to realize it's not just about race, it's not just about ethnicity, and it's not about religion. It's much more broader than that. So we're going to go over a person's culture. When you've identified that person's culture, how have you yourself had to adapt to improve your relationship with them? Now, we'll be going over lots of examples in class, which will make lots more sense, okay? So you're going to identify and describe 3 situations that you've been in where 3 people have had completely different cultures to yourself, and you've had to basically adapt to create a more trusting bond and identify that they have their own culture and you want to adapt to their culture to improve your relationship. So those 3 examples will probably take up about an A4 to an A4 and a half page. It depends how big the situation was or how big the example was. Okay. Now you're going to find out of one of your situations, one of your examples, you're going to pull one out and you are going to apply a reflective tool called the Gibbs reflective cycle to one of the example situations where you have had to adapt to a different person's culture. So you pick out one situation. You're going to research and learn in class about the reflective cycle. There are 6 headings that you need to complete. Okay, this will easily take you an A4 page, possibly more. There are 6 headings that you have to follow. Okay, you can't make your own headings up, so they're quite straightforward. There's quite a bit of history in the Gibbs reflective tool and why people are using it, especially in a clinical setting. You'll learn that in class as well. So using this tool, pick one of your examples to evaluate what was helpful about the situation and what basically you can be improved the next time if something was to occur again. Also, as well, you being a leader, using the Gibbs reflective cycle, you can pass this knowledge on down to other healthcare assistants or support workers that are going through a bit of a difficult time with one of their clients of a different culture. So you also, by learning this, is going to become a type of leader because you're going to understand this well, and you're going to understand why it's used and adapt to, wow, this is how I had to adapt to a different person's culture. So probably anywhere around, I'm guessing font 11, anywhere around 2 pages, maximum 3. I'd like to say 1.5 pages, but it does depend on the situation. The headings that are brief. So for each heading, you might just want one paragraph, which equals to about 4 or 5 lines, I'm assuming. It depends how you word it. All in your own words. Nothing can be copied and pasted. And actually, you can't copy and paste because it's your personal situations. Being in class, we will help you pull out some examples, because once you understand what the real meaning of culture is, you'll be able to really adapt it to your work. This can be going back at least, you can go back 5 years. Remember, this is your rubric. Always look at this and see if you've answered these questions. You're going to get 10 marks for the 3 varied examples and describing them. And you're going to get 10 marks as well, inclusive, of how you met the behavior, how you adapted to it, and how it actually impact a positive change. Okay, a positive change. This then is a little bit repeated, but with you understanding it using the Gibbs model. So you're going to understand how you adapting your behavior created a positive change, and you're going to evaluate it and plans for the future. And then we have a small little 5 marks of you using correct spelling, nice layout. And if you are using any copying or pasting, just reference where you got that from. But in this actual assessment, you cannot actually use too much copy and pasting because it's your own scenario. All right, have fun. Remember to contact myself or Lewis Martin. So tracy.sinkinson@toyyourhallmy or .ac.nz, or Lewis as well. We can both give you feedback. Only one time can we give you feedback, so make sure you really get it in, and you have to get it in at least a week before so we can provide you with feedback, not the day before. All the best. It's a fun topic. It's one of my favorites. Now, how do I turn this off? Sorry.